A couple of notes about this little drama here about plane hijacking. Well, so much hijacking. Yeah, it's more the pilot himself. Just I don't think it ever happened in real life. I mean, the closest is mentioned in the drama itself is German wings, but that flew straight into a mountain, I believe. So this apparently just goes around in circles. I suppose it never happened because, of course, there's no point to it. So there's not much point. Realistically, not much motivation to do so then by anyone. To be fair, even crashing a plane in a mountain is quite something. So I mean, most suicidal people wouldn't bother to do that. Just what's by themselves, So anyway, yeah. With regards to this, so it is interesting. I mean, it begins kind of slowly, but it tenses up, I suppose. Eventually, you know, halfway through, it's certainly slightly tense. Um, yeah, with regards to when the politicians were talking, yeah, it's kind of funny because it went straight from talking bullshit, just thank bullshit to an emergency, in need of an evacuation. What's that? An evacuation of bullshit. There's a lot already happened. I guess it's a real emergency as opposed to the imaginary bullshit that they spout. But yeah. Anyway. When it comes to though, the thing that I heard just before that, um, coming from the Air Force, and I had no idea they actually resort to shooting down a plane. And I don't know if they do it that realistically. I don't know how realistic this is, but that's horrid, though. I mean, what's the point of that, right? As in, just I mean, I suppose they assume that he might crash it on top of a city or something. Loads of other people would die. So sure enough, I guess. But shooting down a plane would mean that all the people inside would die. So I suppose they might think, yeah, it's better to, I guess, more of a what's the worst death toll, I suppose. But then, how do they know if he was going to really crash into a city or something? I don't know. Just it's trying to surely there's something more ideal than that. I mean, what's the point of that? I mean, that makes them no better really than someone who hijacked a plane. Really, no. What's the point? Like hijacker is likely to kill them, and people are supposed to stop the hijacker likely to kill them as well. They are really doomed. And in such a situation, I mean, in an ideal scenario, um, that there are rescuers. Of course, most hijacks, as in kidnaps, aren't usually plane related. So yeah, so easier, I suppose, to rescue a person as opposed to rescuing them from the sky. But by the way, his insults to the so-called Neanderthal were brilliant, weren't they? All those insults, which I believe included gelatinous. Huh. Yeah, it ends a bit sort of, I don't know, sort of an anticlimax, but either way, I mean, it's as long as there can be any type of endings in this sort of scenario. Um, the well, yeah, it doesn't exactly feature any possible consequences of such either, so I don't know. That's maybe besides talk about the speeches and whatnot. But yeah, the alternative sort of depiction of how to handle a crisis, like the blogger phoning the pilot is interesting, as opposed to someone who is technically trained in such situations. It's sort of interesting how it unfolded, I suppose, how it is possible to do so in such scenarios, and interesting sort of as to why he did this in a way. His supposed vision, at least. Not sure about being better than this though.